Hello, my name is Carl Sharro, and I'm the director of the Institute of Internet Diagrams. We're one of the Middle East's leading think tanks. Today, I have a big idea. The idea starts from our concern over Europe. I and the rest of the team love Europe, its culture, its music, its literature, and above all, its generous and hospitable people. But we are seriously concerned today about the divisiveness and extremism in Europe, and we feel it's our responsibility to offer ideas that can help Europe and assist its people in transitioning towards an era of prosperity and stability. Today, Europe is divided more than ever, and those divisions have very deep roots in the past. The European Union for a while tried to overcome this by promoting shared interests, but unfortunately we can see that this is not working. And the problems of Europe won't stay in Europe. This is why we feel we need to look again at the way Europe is arranged today geopolitically and think big, come up with the kind of ideas that can transform Europe and guarantee the peace and prosperity. First, we must be honest, and we must recognize that Europeans have been divided for centuries now. There are ancient hatreds that stretch back in time. There's all sorts of ethnic, cultural, and linguistic divisions that have been made worse by political tensions and the renewed rise rather, of extremism. What are the roots of that? In France alone, there are more than 230 types of cheese. In Germany, there are 1,200 different kinds of sausages. Those things reflect very clearly the divisiveness in Europe, but also tell us a story about how Europe was forced into its current form by rulers who were driven by lust for power and creating new nations that didn't represent at all the people of Europe. So, as a form of gratitude for what Europe did elsewhere in the world, we came up with this simple idea that will guarantee to solve all of Europe's current problems. Simply, we have to be visionary enough not to accept the current form that Europe takes. If you look at the map, you see squiggly lines everywhere, and those lines represent an arbitrary form of creating nations that didn't really have much in common. And the idea starts with places like Germany, where there are very strong divisions between North and South, and a similar thing happens in Italy, and of course in Spain there's various independence movements, and finally the English and the Scottish simply can't stand each other. So we came up with this bold idea to create a more rational map of Europe, a more logical map of Europe that creates new entities more in tune with the reality and the aspirations of local people, and also that looks much neater on the map. For example, the divisions in France today that we see manifesting itself in the run up to the final vote in the presidential elections can be resolved by these elegant geometric lines that create two different entities, with Paris going on one side and the other side adopting a different capital. This kind of visionary thinking have always been promoted by Western thinkers when it comes to the Middle East, for instance, and we feel this is the right moment to pay back that debt and look towards that kind of visionary thinking in solving Europe's problems. Spain and the Iberian Peninsula in general can be arranged in four different zones, restoring the historic heart of Andalusia, giving independence to Catalonia, and then you can see the form is much more elegant. Italy is split in half with Lombardia to the north and Italy to the south. Austria is regularized, which I think everybody can agree is a better form, and then Greater Bavaria is restored as a landlocked country, And then Prussia is obviously recreated. Some countries will obviously be lost in the process, but as they say, you can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs. An elegant, simple line divides the Scottish from the English, but you will always have the problem of London within England, and that's why they think the solution is the creation of the Republic of London. Finally, this the unified Ireland can solve a lot of problems and eliminate those kind of persistent political and geopolitical issues. And as a final touch, we believe that a recognition should be given to the efforts of Lebanese people in kind of bringing civilization to Europe thousands of years ago by turning Sicily into West Lebanon. Really, this is a simple proposal to help European people who today are facing, as I mentioned before, the rise of extremism and this bitter divides between them, help them think outside of the boxes that the likes of Bismarck created for them and created in the process a more elegant and rational map for Europe. Thank you.